Hi guys, it's Reese and welcome back to my channel. So today I will be telling you guys the top 5. I'm gonna try to keep it to 5, but you don't know how that go. But the top 5 things I wish I would have known in my 20s. Stay tuned. Listen up, listen up. Class is now in session. Okay, so the very first thing that I wish I would have known in my 20s is the importance of investing. Yes, I know. Investing, yes. Because I think about it and I think about like my first job I had, and I think over the years of how much money I've made and blown on just dumb things that you spend your money on your 20s, clothes, cars that are just raggedy or gonna break down anyways, and just all of those things throughout the years. And I'm just like, man, like knowing what I know now, like knowing how much a Apple stock is, knowing how much Tesla stock is, and different things that I could make money off of. Let's not even talk about Bitcoin. And I think about back then in my 20s, if I would have just did a little bit of research and just invested in those things, like I would be majorly up right now, like crazy up right now. So I just really think it's important, and I want people to know that it's also not too late to do those things, right? To invest. I know people talk about Robinhood and things like that, but there's so many other ways to invest and to multiply your money. Right? There's things like Forex, right? There's things like HFS, high frequency. Like if people are looking at these stocks and thinking like, I don't have hundreds and thousands of dollars to be able to profit, there are other avenues and other spaces where you can start with $50, $100 and things like that, and really build on that wealth and see thousands and millions of dollars if you really stay consistent and learn the skill set. So that's probably the number one thing I wish I would have known, right? So my second thing that I wish I would have known in my 20s is the importance of your credit score. Right now, I was actually, disclaimer, I was actually blessed enough to know in really when I was a teenager, how important my credit score actually was, right? And also how much I would need my credit score later on in my life. Like my parent made sure that I understood it, made sure I knew to pay my bills on time, like all of these things. She was amazing with that, and I thank her for it every single day, because I'm touching the 800 area, you know, just from knowing that at a young age, knowing that, okay, if I don't have the money for it right now, then I don't need it. Didn't get a credit card until I was in my late 20s, just because I did other things on building my credit. So knowing how important your credit score is, and also how to build your credit score, I'm just gonna combine those into one, because a lot of people don't know, like when you're young and starting out, it's like, okay, well, how do I build credit, you know? And there was different things that I did, student loans that I paid off early, a lot of different little tricks I did at a young age. Due to my parent having this knowledge, I was able to start growing my credit score as soon as I turned 18. Right? So that is going to be my second thing, knowing the importance of a credit score, right? So my third thing is knowing how important it is to save. Not only invest, but to also save, right? If I would have been saving some of the money that I was blowing, man, I really wish I knew about saving, right? Saving, having that emergency fund, right? Also, not only just saving, but knowing what I can be saving towards, which brings me to home ownership, right? That is my next thing. My next thing is to know and have the knowledge of purchasing a home. What kind of loans are out there, right? What kind of loans would I be able to qualify for, right? Especially having the great credit score that I had, and knowing all the thousands and thousands of dollars that I've spent over the years in my 20s. If I would have been sat down at an early age and was told, hey, like, with $10,000, this is what you can do. With $20,000, this is what you can do. And I know in your 20s, you're like, what? That's a lot of money. But if you really think about it, and for the people who are still blessed enough to be at home and things like that. Like when I was still at home, and if I would have known that I could buy a home or qualify for a loan, first time, you know, home FHA loan, then I would have definitely been saving my money, since I didn't have to pay rent at that time, you know, saving my money towards a larger thing. And then when I moved out of my parents' home, I would have been purchasing a home, you know, instead of going out, moving into an apartment, which is still a huge accomplishment. Please do not get me wrong. But instead of doing that, I would have been moving out and buying a home. You know what I mean? I would have been moving out and been able to have something that I own, just because I knew the knowledge of home ownership. So with the savings, the reason I felt like that's so important to have is because you just don't know what life is going to throw you, and you're young. So why not have something set aside? I know when you're young, there's so many shiny things trying to get your attention, but if you were to really save, or at least have an emergency fund with a couple $1,000s in there, you would be good. Or when you wanted to say, hey, when you started learning about, oh, I could buy a home, I could do this and that, you could already be on your way with the savings, you know? I've seen so many people like live paycheck by paycheck as they got older, and that's definitely something that you don't want to do in your 20s. You don't want to start living like that. So instead of going out and buying those Jordans, yeah, I said it, instead of going out and, of course someone's calling me, wow, really? Sorry guys. But instead of going out and buying those Jordans, instead of going out and buying that Gucci belt, like, think about it. Think about money differently. And that's why saving is important, because once you start to see your savings grow, you hit that first 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, you start to think about money differently. You won't think about money as in, oh, I got this, let me go buy something. Right? I feel like once you start a savings and you have a bigger purpose for your savings, you move from being a consumer and thinking of ways to actually do other things with your money, right? So yeah. What is up with the distractions? Now there's construction. I really hope that you guys can't hear it. The next huge thing is life insurance. Life insurance, life insurance. Please look into life insurance. It's so important. And I know in your 20s, you're not even thinking about it, but the younger you are when you purchase it, the better. And not just any life insurance. You want whole term life insurance for your whole life, and you want to make sure that there is something built into that for at any moment, if you need to, you'll be able to pull that money out without any penalties. Yes, I said it. This is a very big thing that people have been doing for years in order to be able to invest in other things. Let's say that you didn't know about home ownership and things like that. If you have a life insurance that you've been paying into with this built into it, you could be able to pull from that life insurance and purchase a home and do things like that, and it will not penalize you. They can't tax you on your life insurance if it is a certain life insurance. So make sure that you're asking all of the right questions. Lastly, that I have for you guys today, of something that I wish I would have known in my 20s, is I wish I would have made sure that I was surrounded by like-minded individuals. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset. I've always wanted to do bigger things at a young age. But if you are the same way, I think it is so very important to get around those people early. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to look back 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, however long, and be like, dang, I used to want to do that. Me and Susie used to talk about doing that. But now I'm hanging out with Sean and them, and they don't even talk about stuff like that. No, and now you're dumbing yourself to Sean and them because you just so happen to fall into that circle of friends when you should really be with Susie. Susie done started her business. Susie's been investing in HFX. Susie's doing all this stuff that you talked about doing, but because you're no longer around Susie anymore, you're dumbing yourself down. I wish I would have really known about friends. Yes, pick your friends like you pick your fruit. Now, because you know, are you learning from these people? They say this all the time. Like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get out of that room. You need to get into a different room. Seriously, because you want to continue to be getting knowledge. You know, you want to continue to grow as a person. So you do not want to dumb yourself down because you think Sean and them is cool. No, Susie's cool because you guys have the same mindset. You guys want the same things in life, and you guys could probably help each other truly get there. Right? So that is a huge, huge, huge thing. They say you're I believe you are most like the 5 people you hang around the most. Look at those people. You're going to be just like them. And guess what else? You're going to have the same income as them. So hang around people that are going to elevate you, right? Your circle is so very important. And that is something that I wish I would have known in my early 20s, right? So with all of that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give this a thumbs up if you guys like hearing things like this. Let me know how you feeling. Trying to, you know, drop some gems on you guys really quick. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Please like, comment, and subscribe.